Several video clips have been used in this production to help illustrate the message I'm trying to share. I'm in no way claiming these videos to be my own.
About matters involving the future. But mankind refuses to seek and consult God. Only He can reveal the future. Mankind cannot, through intelligence, human reasoning, or scientific discovery, know or discern events to come. And many religious people believe the book of Revelation offers no help anyway because it cannot be understood.
The book of Revelations has been revealed to Mr. Collins by God. As a result, he would like to share the information with anyone who is willing to listen. A mustard seed is one of the smallest seeds known to be. However, the tree is one of the biggest that exists. Like the mustard seed, in the event you can have faith at least.
Hello there, brother and sister. First, let's start off. Let me welcome you in my house, you know what I'm saying? My name is Joe Collins, Revelation Thinking Out Loud. If you ever want to get to my video, that's how you get to my channel. I got over 35 different videos, but right today I have finished the book of Revelation to understand it. Now, like I said, you know, can you as people give God just 1 hour of your time? You know, I'm going to take you on a journey through American history. I'm going to take you through the past, present, and future. And in that, you're going to see the 4 horsemen. And you're going to also see the Antichrist. And I hope you enjoy. Come and see the book of understanding of Revelation. Revelation 1 through 4. It goes talking about John. He saw a vision of Jesus. He says his hair was white as wood. His clothes was white. And he had a gold band around his chest. His feet were like brass. And he said his eyes were like a flame of fire. He had a two-edged sword coming out of his mouth. And he said he had 7 stars around his head. Then he said he had 7 candlesticks around the head. And later on, the 7 candlesticks gonna run to the 7 hills on which the 7 churches sit on right there. You know what I'm saying? And move on from that right there. Then it's talking about he saw a throne. A throne pole represent God right there. Then he said he seen 24 elders around the throne dressed in white. Now the 24 elders represent the 24 hours a day. Dressed in white means purity. You know what I'm saying, man? Then he said he saw 7 golden candlesticks, 7 golden torches around them. The 7 torches represent the 7 spirit of God. Then he said he saw 4 living creatures. 4 living creatures represent, like I said, world power at different time. World power. That the lion represent the world power during King Tut in them days. The cow represent world power during Moses in them days. The man represent world power during Jesus' days. And the last world power is the eagle. It represents time now. Then you say he saw the sea of glass. The sea of glass represent all the people. Then you go from there and you see that the 4 living creatures, the 24 elders had crowns on their head. The crown represent God gave them authority. That was speak up right there. Now move on to that right there. Hope I got that right. Now we go with the 4 living creatures. One looked like a lamb, one as a cow, one as a man, and one as an eagle. Now like I said, the lamb during King Tut days, the calf during Moses days, now the man during Jesus days, and the eagle is now the American eagle. That's why I'm gonna bring all my revelation gonna go into America. I'm gonna tell you everything gonna happen. The Antichrist and all that gonna go into America. Now, so each one of the living creature has 6 winds. Okay, the 6 winds represent the past, the present, and the future. And each one of the winds had eyes all on them. The eyes represent the Spirit of God. They had eyes back and forth. The Spirit of God sees back and forth, the past, present, and future. Then to go from there. Now, like I said, Revelation is a spiritual giant time clock. It tells you the past, present, and future. You don't understand that? Now we go from there. Then the Lamb opened the seal, and now he sees. Once he opened the seals, he sees America. Now, America started in the 1492, but we're gonna go through the 16, the 17, and the 1800. Explain you America. You know what I'm saying? Then we go to now we seen the 4 horsemen shows up. Now each one of the horse, I'm gonna explain it to you. The white horse represent the white race. It was given a bow and it was given a crown. It gave him the power to have authority. Now The red horse represents the Indians or the Native Americans. They were given a sword. They were told to take peace from the earth. In other words, they had to fight for their land. The black horse were given, they represent the black Americans. They were given a pair of scales. They had to fight for justice. That's all it said. Then it said they have a green pale color horse. Now this is the most strange thing, called most Bibles take away green. It just said pale color horse. Now, I don't know why, but that means that when all three races will come up on the one government, is that money, the green pale money. That's what it speaks right there. Now we go. And it speaks of the black horse when it shows the black horse in heaven again. And it says this: a quart of wheat make a day's wage. 3 quarts of barley make a day's wage. But do not damage the olive tree and the vineyard. Now what it's saying right there, pay the people for what they were. Pay them 3 times for what they were. But do not damage the olive tree and the vineyard. In other words, if someone coming out of that race gonna bring hope, and do not destroy them. Do not destroy that race. That means the vineyard when they speak of that right there. Then like I just said, you know, only God knows. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I mean by the olive tree and the vineyard, that's just like during Noah's Ark day. They reigned for 40 days and 40 nights. Only way they know they had hope when the dove came back with on the branch with the olive branch. And anytime you speak of olive branch or something, it means hope. The same way here. He said, do not damage the olive tree in this land right here. That means in the black race, someone's gonna come and bring hope to the world. That's what it's saying right there. Okay, Revelation. Now once again, Revelation is a big giant time clock. Don't forget, go to the past, present, and future. Now this goes into the past now when they start talking about the trumpet. They start talking about the past now. Okay, it said on chapter 7, it said I seen 4 angels holding back the wind so they would not blow on the earth. That time about God finna put a punish on the earth now. It said, okay, Revelation chapter 8. You know, like I was telling you, only God gives men the ability to understand. Now I'm gonna read this 2 ways. The first way I'm gonna read it, I bet you only 25% of the people understood. But I'm gonna read it again, and I promise you, I want everyone to understand the prophecy. How God gives people to understand of the prophecy. And we're gonna start off with Revelation chapter 1. When the first angel blew his trumpet, the grass and the trees burnt up. That means it can be speaking of those who have small faith and those who have large faith. We talk about the Garden of Eden or the tree of knowledge. That way can we talk about 2 things. The second angel blew his trumpet. The sea and all the ships on the sea was destroyed. The sea turned into blood. That means everybody believing in the prophecy of Moses right there. You know what I'm saying? Then it said, the third angel blew his trumpet. The river and the springs of water turned into blood. And it became wormwood. It said it became wormwood, bitter. Okay? Then it said the fourth angel blew his trumpet. Now right here talking about like in a family. The sun represents the father, the moon represents the mother, and the stars represent the kids. A third of each family had lost faith in the prophecy. Then it said the fifth angel blew his trumpet. Now a lot of smoke came up out of the bottom. Locusts came up out of the smoke. They had crowns on their head. They had teeth as a lion. They had a face as a man. They had hair as a woman. And they also had a tail on them. This is some kind of prophecy coming. The teeth represent they eat of the flesh. Then the hair means they are anointed to God. And you know, God told them do not never cut their hair if they are anointed to God. Then they said they had tails. That means when they die, you're going to come back and hunt them. And then it said, the sixth angel blew his trumpet. It said at that very moment, at that very day, you know what I'm saying, the 4 angels were released from the Ukrainian river. Now, horses came up out of there. The horses had riders. They also had crowns. They had 5 smoking brimstone coming from their mouth. The fire represents the Father, the smoke represents the Son, and the brimstone represents the Holy God. And they also have tails. And when you die, you'll be able to be judged by the tails right there. And that is the prophecy right there. Now I'm going to tell you the prophecy one more time. But I'm going to tell you in a story. In a prophecy way of telling the story. Because I want everyone to understand the story. I'm going to slow it down. Hope I don't make no mistake. Or I kind of study. Okay, it started off with I'm going to tell you about the story of Yahya right there. Yahya was a prophet. He held the book the knowledge of the prophecy in the book. He goes around and tells the prophecy. Now he starts off saying the first knowledge talking about the Garden of Eden. It have a tree that good and evil off in the tree. And also in the book, it speak of a great Savior gonna come from the sea. You know what I'm saying? Then it also speak of in the book that the Son of God supposed to appear. You know what I'm saying? Now in each family now, you know, everyone now start losing faith in that. They all call Yahya together and tell him, Yahya, come and tell us a story about the great prophecy. And they all laugh at him. Man, can no one save us from great Pharaoh? You know that's a joke. But come here, Yahya, one more time. Tell us a story, once again, about the Son of God supposed to come to earth. And hey, they all laugh, broke out in tears as Yahya tells the story. Everyone now done lost faith in that story right now. Now, all of a sudden, a lot of smoke comes from the bottom. No, locusts came up on the smoke. They ate through the gods of Pharaoh like locusts eating through grass. And you know it was the God of all gods had set that down. Now the Israelites were once again, they had settled in the land. Now they become thirsty once again for the understanding of God. Now at that moment, at that very day, at that very second, God released the 4 angels at the Ukrainian river. Now horses came about the river. The horses had heads like a lamb. They also had tails. They had riders on them, and they had fire, smoke, and brimstone coming from their mouth. The fire represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And it tells what they use to sting people. For when you die, you will be judged by this story. That is the story of Yahya. And I hope I got everyone to understand that story.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. And a rainbow was upon his head. And his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open. And he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when the lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. And of the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer.
But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants, the prophets.
And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said,
Go, and take the little book, which is open in the hand of the angel, which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth.
And I went unto the angel, and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me,
Take it, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter. But it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
And I took the little book out of the angel's hand, and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me,
Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, and nations, and tongues, and...
Revelation chapter 10, I'm kind of explaining this a little quick to you, you know what I'm saying? It said Revelation chapter 10, the angel come down from heaven. It placed the right foot on the sea and the left foot on the land. You know, they always talk about the sea represent all those who believe in the spirit. And those who do not believe, it's called the land. And before that, he said, the 7th thunder has shouted. Now the 7th thunder represents the spirit of God. The 7th thunder comes like 7 torches. It's all that represents the spirit of God. And so the angel raised up his right hand, made a swear to God who live forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? And he had a little book in his hand. He told John to go and grab the book. He said it would be sweet as honey in your mouth, but when you swallow it, it will make your stomach bitter. In other words, he's telling John that you is allowed to write Revelation, but he's not allowed to fulfill it. In other words, it's a prophecy that you're not allowed to fulfill. He said, but in the time when the seventh angel come, he would be the one that fit it. In other words, it's just like a relay race. John got to pass to the throne to someone else fill it. That's all it's speaking of right there. You know, Revelation chapter 10. I hope you enjoy it.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying,
Rise, and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court, which is without the temple, leave out, and measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
These are the two olive trees, and the two candlesticks, standing before the God of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if anyone wishes to hurt them, thus must he be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters, to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues, as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall...
Chapter 11. He said, I was given a rod that looked like a measuring stick. He said, go and measure the temple of God and count those. But leave out the outcourse, because those will be given to the Gentiles of the earth. I will send my two witnesses, dressed in sackcloth. They are the olive trees of the earth. Now the two witnesses is nothing but Moses and Jesus. Then it said, fire will come out of their mouth. Whoever tried to destroy them will be destroyed. Then it said, the beast will come from the earth, will destroy them. Their body will lie in the street for 3 days. Now, the beast come from the earth is torn by none but money. Now, as long as we on this earth right here, we supposed to live by the laws of Jesus and Moses and Jesus. But the only thing now, people today is worried about money and materialistic things and destroy them. Then it said, life will be given to them, and they will go up to heaven. Now, at that day, people will be afraid. In other words, when we die now, we will have to be judged by the laws of Jesus and Moses. You know what I'm saying? Then it speaks of heaven and the angel. He's seen the heaven and the angel. And it speaks of judgment day. They all getting ready to set judgment day for the people.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
This is chapter 12. I'm gonna explain this as we go on, you know. Now it said, I seen a woman was dressed as the sun, with the moon under her foot, with 12 stars over her head. She was about to give birth. Now I gotta explain you what that means right there. The woman dressed as the sun, that means light is coming to the world. With the moon under her foot, dark days is over. With 12 stars over her head, it's talking about the 12 Israelites. Then he said she was about to give birth. That means a new religion. I'm gonna say it the best way I can. A new religion is finna come now. Okay, and I seen a huge red dragon, but about to pursue the woman, about to eat the child as soon as it was born. The dragon had 7 heads and 10 horns. Now, I gotta explain you what that means. The 7 heads is talking about the 7 churches of Jesus Christ. That's all they're talking about, Jesus Christ. And the 10 horns is talking about the 10 commandments. You know what I'm saying, man? Now, it said, war broke out in heaven. Mike and his angel fought against the devil, and he fought back. Okay, now here's speak of this right here. Now, at the beginning of Jesus' time, don't forget Moses, people was up under Moses' law, and they would run. The Jews, the leader of the Jews, was running with an iron fist. That means people is now trying to bring this religion of Jesus into the thing. You know what I'm saying? They were getting the early Christianity was getting prosecuted. No, they was getting killed. You know what I'm saying? They were getting served to the land. They were getting killed and all kind of hung and everything at the beginning. It took 300 years before Jesus Christ was accepted. You understand that right there? That means war broke out in heaven, and necessarily talking about up in heaven. It talks those who are in the spirit world. That means the leaders of the Jews, they were spiritual people, but they were not trying to let that religion of Jesus come in. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, that's what it means by war broke out in heaven. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, that the earth helped the woman. You know, it swallowed up the water that came from the dragon mouth. That means the religion was found and accepted. That's all this speaking right there. Chapter 12.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying,
Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Revelation chapter 13, the first half. Then I saw a beast that coming up out of the sea. It looked like a leopard, with cloth as a bear, with teeth as a lion. It had 7 heads and 10 horns. Now this represent right here is the first beast. Now you gotta understand, when it said coming out the sea, that means all the people believe in Moses. Then it goes say it looked like a leopard. I'm gonna go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Then it said it had cloth as a bear claw. That means it's a powerful, something powerful finna come. Then it had teeth as a lion. That means it eat of the flesh. I mean dealing with the flesh. Now like I said, it had 7 heads and 10 horns. Now you know the 7 heads represent Jesus Christ, and the 10 horns represent Moses, the 10 commandments. And that what the camouflage represent too. It's gonna be 2 different religions blending into one. You know, the speaking of Jesus and the speaking of Moses. It'll be 2 types dealing with one. That's all this speaking here. When they're talking about the first beast, it came up out the sea. The sea represent all the people believing in Moses. And it said one of their heads had been wounded, but the failure wound had healed. You mean at the end of Moses' rage, and Jesus had to come and heal the wound that was damaged, the head.
If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Revelation 13 is one of my best stories. But for all you people, I'm going to ask you to take a seat with respect. Because this story you've got to hear is going to be one of the most mind-blowing stories you will ever hear. Now, I will read this prophecy that's been written over 2,000 years to you. And I will continue with the story. It says, all those people that leave into captivity, they must go into captivity. All the people that be killed by the sword must be killed by the sword. And it said, for be patient for the people of God people, be patient. And we'll be driven to the end. And I'm going to read it to you that way that you can understand. It said, for all you lock-minded people, you're going to remain lock-minded. For all you weak-minded people, you're going to remain weak-minded. For the people that stay faithful to God, be patient to the end.
The United States of America was born from the yearning of the many people who had traveled there from the old world of Europe to be free of the imperial powers that had dominated them for centuries, to have democracy, liberty, justice for all, and to take command of their own destiny. The birth of the American nation was a painful one, first by having to fight against the forces of the British and then against the indigenous people of North America, within and from the outside of new borders they had declared. In between the many conflicts, the new nation had to establish its own laws, political system, and culture, none of which developed overnight. Obviously, there would not always be a consensus. Over the century after 1776, when the United States of America was born, while growing under a political union of states that it was composed of, it also saw the widening of a cultural divide between the industrious northern states and the agricultural southern ones. Perhaps more than anything else, the two sides of this divide found themselves at odds over the question of slavery. The ethics of owning a person as property became a legal battle between those in support of the practice and those opposed in American courts and halls of power. Eventually, this dispute became a true battlefield. More Americans died in the American Civil War that raged in the North American continent between 1861 and 1865 than in any other war in which Americans have fought throughout its history. And while the battles have long endured, the ramifications of the Civil War continue to be felt to this very day in America over issues such as culture and race. Today, we delve into the darkest chapter of American history.
London and the year of the devil, 1666. In 1666, England was at war with both the French and the Dutch. When the fire destroyed the city, many assumed it was a deliberate precursor to an invasion by one of those powers, and a wave of anti-immigrant violence broke out. A Dutch bakery was attacked by a mob, a Frenchman was brutally beaten with an iron bar, and a Swedish diplomat only narrowly avoided being hanged, thanks to a quick intervention by the Duke of York. One specific rumor that was spread was that from Ratcliffe swore that months before the fire, he heard a Catholic musing over whether London might burn down in 66. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. The suspicion that Catholics were behind the fire would last for well over a decade. As late as 1681, a local ward erected a plaque which read, "Here by the permission of heaven, hell broke loose upon this Protestant city from the malicious hearts of barbarous papists." The plaque was left up well into the middle of the following century and was finally removed, not because it was anti-Catholic, but because people stopping to read it were creating a traffic hazard.
Okay, Revelation 13. I'm going to break this down in two parts for you to better understand this. It said, "Then I saw a beast that came up out of the earth. It had two horns as a lamb, but it spoke as a dragon. It used the very authority of the first beast that deadly wound had healed. It made fire come down out of heaven in the sight of people, where it lied to deceive the people. Now we're going to stop right there. Now it started off talking about the beast that came up out of the earth. Remember, when it's come out of the earth, that means the non-believable. Then it had two horns as a lamb horn, but it spoke as a dragon. That means it came Christ's word, but it had evil potential. You know what I'm saying? Then it said it made fire come out of heaven in the sight of everyone, where it was allowed to deceive the people on earth. Now that's all this talking about there here. Now, in other words, when the Bible first came to him, they learned how to change the Bible. In other words, as far as the Son of God, they took the Son of God and they put miracles in the book. Like, did Jesus walk on water? Did Jesus bring back the dead? Did Jesus cast out demons? Then with the certain other miracles that they put in the Bible. You know, and everyone said, because he's the Son of God, all things is possible. But that was the miracle they put in the Bible. And don't forget, in the year of 1666, you know what I'm saying, King James, most of King James Bible was burnt in the Great Fire in London. That means people is coming to the new world now, changing the Bible as the way they are according to them. Then they said they built an image in honor of the one that was wounded by the sword but yet lived. Now the image is this. Now we're looking at a white Jesus with blue eyes and blonde hair, you know, only as white. But we know that Jesus was in the Middle East. He could not have been white. But to show the world that they are a superior race, they changed the color of Jesus. Now that's all that was saying.
What if we say that Jesus, his people, and the Virgin Mary were all black? Well, you might doubt that because until now, we have known that Jesus was a white man with long, silky blonde hair and blue eyes. Therefore, his mother and his people would also be like him, being white. This belief was strengthened by showing centuries-old paintings where Jesus appears white. But interestingly, all these paintings have been whitewashed. In other words, these paintings have been fabricated, and Jesus, his mother, and his people have been deliberately shown like present-day Europeans. However, recently, Russia opened its centuries-old vaults and cellars where untempered paintings from the 14th and 15th centuries have been found. What is in those paintings, and how does it completely change how we think about Jesus, his mother, and his people? Welcome to a new episode of Black Afric Diary, a channel where we talk about Black African history, culture, arts, and civilization. It's a place where you will see the real picture of Black Africa, its stories, and the events defining it. In this episode, we will tell you about the paintings found in Russian vaults, where we see the Black Jesus, the Black Virgin Mary, and the Black Israelites. Let's get started.
They said, then the beast pursued the people, great and small. They had them place a mark on their right hand and on their forehead. No one can buy or sell without this mark. Now we speaking to the old head. They know in the year of 1666 when most of King James Bible were burnt up. And now they spreading the word to the new world now. And they know it's a bunch of BS. They're saying that Jesus walked on water. Did Jesus bring back the dead? Did Jesus cast out demons? Well, Jesus was a white guy. And therefore, people from the old head, they stayed faithful to God. That's what they said, in their hand, on their right hand and on their forehead. That means they knew the year of 1666 when there was when most of the Bible burned up. And therefore, you cannot sell them none of that BS. And they would not buy none of that BS. Because they knew it was a lie. That's all they saying right there. Revelation chapter 13. I saw two horns as a lamb, but it spoke as a dragon. That means it had the people think it Christ-worthy, but gonna have evil attention. The year was 1776. I heard a loud crowd. They were cheering. America won their independence. Great America won their independence for the New World founding have came. But I stopped right there. I take you back 3 years before. America was struggling, trying to fight for their independence. They having everyone under the New World thinking that if we win our independence, how great it would be. You had the Native Americans, under the oppression, as for the Indians that lived the land, believe in the white man now, had trust in the white man, believed that they would be in peace with the white man and share the land. Now, you had the black Americans at that time believe that one day that we'll have free. The whole new world gonna be up under one law now, is freedom. And they helped fight for the American independence. Now, one man in American history had the power now to change all fate. Now, 100 years later, now the Indians is now still push off their land. And the blacks were still in slavery. Now you ask, who is this can play the part of the Antichrist? His name is still begin with a number. And the number is right as we see, $100 bill. His name is Benjamin Franklin, American greatest hero.
Flipping anonymous essays under the shop door at night, secretly delighting in the praise they received from the paper's more prestigious contributors.
He wrote a version of the Lord's Prayer, which he thought was superior in style and in theology to the one in the Bible. He rewrote the Book of Common Prayer and published a limited number of copies of it. He invented a parable on persecution, which he used to fool his friends with by telling them that it was one of the chapters of the Bible, which of course they had never heard of.
The precocious 16-year-old had developed his prose style by copying the essays of The Spectator, Britain's leading literary magazine, published 14 of these anonymous pieces under the satiric pen name Silence Dogood, a chatty, moralizing widow woman. The secret of his authorship wasn't revealed until 55 years later in his autobiography. Trapped as an apprentice and bristling under his brother's stern hand, he founded the first fire insurance company. He served as a delegate to the Constitutional Convention, helped draft the Declaration of Independence, and still stands as one of America's most effective statesmen and ambassadors. He also had his detractors. There were those who thought Franklin dangerous and untrustworthy, willing to do or say just about anything to line his pockets, win praise, or confound his enemies.
And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers, harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the 4 beasts, and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. And I...
Chapter 14, 144,000. I was standing on the bank of the sea. The sea represents all the people that believe in the Bible. And I was throwing rocks at the sea. And the angel came to me and said, "Why are you throwing rocks in the sea?" I said, "The sea is not moving. I think the rock is too small. I said, sir, I am going up against a book that had been put miracles in for centuries and centuries. And the people is lock-minded or they're weak-minded. So they is not going to listen to me. I would need a miracle. I would need a rock by the size of a mountain. And the angels just laughed and shouted at me and said, go and continue to preach. Yeah. 144,000. The question is that is, why is that number so low? If these are the people at the end days gonna have God gonna to accept? I just wonder. But I'm gonna give you my opinion about 144,000. Now it said the men do not go and become virgin. They don't defile with women. And as they speaking at that form, it's speaking of, they ain't actually saying men, they're saying people. It could be a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep yourself virgin. You know what I'm saying? In other words, when you lust off the materialistic things of the world, or you still believing in the spirit knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You become, what I mean now, you become defiled. You're not virgin. Virgin means stay strictly to the thing. Now how this right here go, Revelation is a prophecy. Been prophesied over 1,000 years. I'm just questioning, it could be more or could be less. And today, as for it, John was the one written. And today, someone have revealed. Now that is the prophecy, the power of the Bible. It's something that's been prophesied for over 1,000 years. Now when you go and become one of the 44,000, you have to walk with that. You know what I'm saying? You have to believe in the prophecy that been prophesied over 1,000 years. You got to believe that it been fulfilled. And you can't be defiled by materialistic things of the world. You can't be defiled by false God. You know what I'm saying? A supernatural power. When you go and preach this knowledge to the world, you got to understand you are preaching the prophecy of Revelation that been written over 1,000 years and just been prophesied. That would you go out and preach to the people to become one of the 44,000 members at the end days. Then when, like it said in the Bible, when it's time for Judgment Day, you'll be one of the first that walk with Jesus. You know, that's all it said right there. We're going to speak Revelation chapter 14.
I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me,
Right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them.
And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat, like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud,
Thrust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe.
And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying,
Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress...
Now right here, the second half right here, how can I say that? 144,000. Now, sometimes you can take something simple and make it hard, and sometimes you can make something hard and make it simple. But I'm going to try to make this simple as possible right here. It said the one that sits on the cloud, you know what I'm saying, had a sickle in his hand, and also had a crown. The crown represents authority. The cloud represents spirit knowledge right there. He said, go, and the angel come from the temple. Said, go and use your sickle and wipe the earth, because the time have came. Now don't forget, the second angel came from the temple. Now, he is the one that judged the earth now for the materialistic things that they lust off in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the third angel came from heaven. You know what I'm saying? And the fourth angel came from the altar. That means he was in charge of the fire. It seems like once a person be judged on according to their earthly deeds, they will go to heaven or hell. That sound like that saying right there, you know. I'm gonna make it. Okay, I didn't want to leave out nothing. But chapter 15 goes into 16. It talk about those who won the victory over the beast. And they in heaven celebrate. Now he finna open up the 7 bowls. The last place of God. Now I'm finna explain to you the 7 bowls in a minute, but I didn't want to leave out chapter 15. Now we finna move on to chapter 16. The 7 bowls. 16. It started off talking about when the first angel pulled out his bowl. He pulled out his bowl on the earth. Painful soul appeared on the people on the earth. And they murmur and holler. Now the earth can represent those who don't believe right there. Earth represents those who don't believe. You know. Then it goes, the second angel pulled out his bowl up on the sea. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the sea turned into blood. Alright. Then it said the third angel pulled out his bowl up on the river. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, I got to kind of explain you here. The sea represent those who believe in Moses. At the time, the rain of Moses, although went up on Moses. Now the river and the springs of water represent all those who believe in Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Now the third angel poured out his bowl up on the river. Now this is one thing that come kind of strange here. It said the fourth angel poured out his bowl up on the sun, and they cussed the name of God and this, you know what I'm saying? Now, did we hear the sun? Now, in Revelation, you remember me telling you about the sun, the moon, and the star represent the family. In this case right here, the sun represent, in other words, the Father once again. And he cussed the name of God. Then it said the fifth angel poured out his bowl, and it become the darkness came over. That means that now in this situation, the more father is no more family in the Father now. You know what I'm saying? It's just darkness now. You know what I'm saying? That's the fifth angel. It's darkness there. That means that no more father. It's just like the family is not upon no family what you call no more. Then it said the sixth angel poured out his bowl upon the great Emperor River, and it dried up. Now, the great Emperor River and dried up to make a way for the kings to come from the east. Now, in other words, in the days we live in now, that in the family, the structure of the family, is the father is no mothers now, and the kids is out of control, and they're making a way for the kings to come from the earth, judgment day. That's all it sounds like it's saying right there. Then it said, I saw 3 unclean spirits coming out of the mouth of the frog. Now the unclean spirit represent, I gotta understand what it's saying. The unclean spirit represent the beast, the false prophet, and the dragon. Now, what do that mean? The beast represent money, power. You know what I'm saying? That the false prophet represent, it give you that false impression that you could be happy. You know, if you get all the materialistic things in the world, you can be happy. You know what I'm saying? And the dragon represent, like I said, it's a form of it represents Satan. In other words, it's a form of selling your soul. Now we sat there and we lush off all these materialistic things of the world, money, cars, and boats, and all that. That become our God, and our soul is no longer believing in the heaven Father. We believe in the materialistic things of the world, and that's destroy the soul. You understand that? That means the beast is the power of money. The false prophet is what makes you think you can have happiness. And the dragon, like you said, the materialistic things of the world.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river, Euphrates. And the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth, and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of God. And there were voices, and thunders, and lightnings. And there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake, and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great.
And it said, the 7th angel poured out his bowl upon the earth, and it said, it is done. That means that it seemed like God can destroy the world now. And then it said, hell fall down upon the people. You know what I'm saying? And the mountain was removed. No, and it said, the city broke up into 3 pieces. I got to explain you what the city is. Now, when hell fell down on the people, it seemed like God, the furies of God came upon the people. Now the mountain moved from its place. Now it said, the city broke up in 3 pieces. Now the city represents, I got to tell you what the city represents. The city represents the Old Testament. The Old Testament is Moses. You know what I'm saying? The New Testament is Jesus. The Jesus is the New Testament. Now, the third one is Revelation. No, Revelation is the last one. That is the city. It broke up in 3 places. You know what I'm saying, man? It been fulfilled. The Old Testament, the Old Testament, New Testament, and Revelation have been fulfilled now. That's all it's saying right there, you know. And that is chapter 6.
Nations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me,
Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings one hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and...
Okay, Revelation chapter 17. The aim for you to understand this, like I know, it's Judgment Day. Everybody did. It said the angel took me in a vision. I seen a woman sitting on a beast. The beast had 7 heads and 10 horns. She was drinking the blood of, she had a cup in her hand, a golden cup. She was drinking the blood of the saint. Now I gotta explain you that. The 7 heads represent Jesus Christ. The 10 horns represent Moses and the 10 commandments. Then it said, it's the beast that was, but no longer will come back again. The beast itself represents nothing but money and materialistic things of the world. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you on earth, the beast plays a big part of it, but when you die, you know what I'm saying? You got to come back and be judged. But that's the way it's speaking of right there. Then it said, I saw a sea, a glass full of people of all nations out there. Those are the people going to be judged by it right there. Then it goes by and said, on the hill now, on the 7 hills, it said 5 have fallen, 1 still yet, and 1 is to come. Those are the laws of Jesus right there, supposed to come right there. Then it said, the woman represents the city. You know what I'm saying? The woman represents the city. The city represents the book. It read about the Holy Bible. You know what I'm saying, man? Then it said, the 10 kings will hate the woman. They will make her naked. In other words, you're going to be judged by the 10 commandments. You know what I'm saying? That's all it said right there. Now, Revelation chapter 17. I hope I gave you a good understanding of it.
Almighty, ever-living God, who bestowed your promises on Abraham and his descendants, graciously hear the prayers of your church, that the people you first made your own may attain the fullness of redemption, through Christ our Lord. Let us also pray for those who do not believe in Christ, that enlightened by the Holy Spirit, they too may enter on the way of salvation. Almighty ever-living God, grant to those who do not confess Christ, that by walking before you with a sincere heart, they may find the truth, and that we ourselves, being constant in mutual love and striving to understand more fully the mystery of your life, may be made more perfect witnesses to your love in the world, through Christ our Lord.
And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying,
Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
And I heard another voice from heaven, saying,
Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double, according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine. And she shall be...
I give the people one more warning. He telling them, come out of there, come out of Babylon. You know, She is haunted with demons. In other words, he telling people, quit lusting off the materialistic things of the world. Quit lusting off of them. Then it talk about the woman said, I'm no king. I'll never be a widow. Basically what she's saying now, I'm rich. And I'll never be broke. And beyond with all that BS you talking about, afterlife, that neither here or there. Right now, I'm rich right now, and I'm gonna continue being rich. That's all it's saying right there, you know.
Voice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her.
And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying,
Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
And the voice of harpers, and musicians, and of pipers, and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee.
And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven, saying,
Alleluia! Salvation, and glory, and honor, and power, unto the Lord our God. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand.
And again they said,
Alleluia! And your smoke rose up forever and ever.
And the 24 elders, and the 4 beasts, fell down and worshipped God, that sat on the throne, saying,
Amen. Alleluia.
And a voice came out of the throne, saying,
Praise our God, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great.
And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunderings, saying,
Alleluia! For the Lord God honors and greater. Let us be glad and rejoice, and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready.
And he saith unto me,
Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb.
And he saith unto me,
These are the true sayings of God.
And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me,
See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
And I saw heaven opened, and behold,
everyone speak of when is Jesus ever coming back at the end of time? When is the end of time? How will we know? But let me explain you. Revelation chapter 19. Okay, it started off talking about the 24 elders. That represents the 24 hours of the day. And we talk about the throne. God sits on the throne. And we speak of the 4 living creatures. Remember at the beginning I tell you about the 4 living creatures? I mean world power at different times. The lamb, the calf, the man, and the eagle. The eagle in flight now. Everyone, all the angels around the throne singing a new song. Praise God, praise God. Now to able to better understand this, we go to chapter 10. When the angel come from heaven, had 1 foot on the sea and 1 foot on earth. He raised his right hand and took a vow who lived forever and forever. And John told John to come get the scroll. John took up the scroll. When he ate of it, it said it tasted sweet as honey in his mouth. But when he was about to swallow it, it made his bitter sour. In other words, John was given revelation to write down, but he was not allowed to fulfill it. Someone else supposed to come along in the future and fulfill it. Then you go to chapter 5, when they speak of the black horse. I told you someone in the black horse in the race supposed to fill out Revelation. It said, a quart of weed make a day wait, 3 quarts of barley make a day, but do not damage the olive tree in the vineyard. In other words, the olive tree represents the hope that's going to come out that race. You know what I'm saying, man? That's all they speak of that. Someone in that race supposed to fill out Revelation. Now, he was given the scroll of Revelation to see, to open up Revelation. Now we go to chapter 19 in heaven. Now, it said John was about to bow, but I think it was someone else about to bow, and John raised his right hand on him. And they said, we are both our brother and fulfilling the prophecy of Revelation. You catch what I'm saying right there? Now, as far as it goes to showing Jesus and his bride is about to get married. You know what I'm saying? Now, his bride is nothing but the prophecy of Revelation have been fulfilled. That is the bride of Jesus right there. Now, in the spirit, once the revelation had been fulfilled in the spirit, Jesus came back in the spirit. You understand what that means? In the flesh, he may never came back, but in the spirit, Jesus came back. Called revelation have been fulfilled. That's all it's saying right there. Okay. Revelation chapter 19. Now, we're going to start off with talking about Jesus and his bride. Like I said, the bride represents the prophets. Even you can go to talk about the sixth angel that had the last bowl. He said he threw it out on the great Ukrainian river, and the river dried up to make a way for the king from the east to come. That means judgment day right there. You know what I'm saying? Then it said the beast and the false prophet was threw in the lake of fire. Now the beast represents nothing but money and materialistic things. That's all you speak of. The false prophet represents something that you think gonna make you happy. People think because they got a lot of money, they're gonna make happy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the last one gotta be through is the dragon. You know, the dragon represents false god. You know, people just believe in materialistic things is their god. That's all I speak of that. It have not been thrown in there. That is very important to know.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Years. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
And this chapter right here is speak of that it will draw the people to the four corners of the city. You know what I'm saying? Now, it represents judgment day, where people are going to be judged now. According to the city, it represents the book. That means judgment day finna come up on the world.
Classified as fear-mongering by some people. Judgment Day isn't exactly a seeker-friendly subject. It's not something that will bring new members into the church by their thousands. That is why it is not preached often. Judgment Day.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, in the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven, and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. And the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. and the sea gave up the dead which were in it. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying,
Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
And he that sat upon the throne said,
Behold, I make all things new.
And he said unto me,
Write, for these words are true and faithful.
And he said unto me,
It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful, and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
And there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying,
Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and shewed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God.
Revelation chapter 21. Coming to an end, y'all. Okay, Revelation chapter 1, it showed the throne. You know what I'm saying? The angel took me in the vision, I seen the throne. And what's coming down the throne, it showed me the bride of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be New Jerusalem, represent the book. It's a new book, you know what I'm saying? He said he made new heaven and new earth now. And he got New Jerusalem now. Now don't forget the 7 angels with the 7 bowls showed me New Jerusalem, the bridesmaid of New Jerusalem. Now in the book now, like you said, it goes like it said, God will be in the book and Jesus will be in the book. And it also said the 12 tribes of Israelite, and it said the 12 disciples would be in the book. That's all this speaking of right there. New Jerusalem gonna be the bride of Jesus Christ. Is the new book. That's all this speaking does. Chapter 21. New.
And he shewed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it. And his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face. And his name shall be in their foreheads, and there shall be no night there. And they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth.
And this chapter right here is talking about the book itself. It said there'll be no need for no darkness there, because God will be his light and Jesus will be his light. Then it said the leaves represent the healing of the earth. You know what I'm saying? As far as the book, the pages of the book, that's for the healing of the earth. And it said the springs of water represent the knowledge you can get from this book can give you eternal life. That's all this speaking of right.
God of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
And I, John, saw these things, and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which shewed me these things. Then saith he unto me,
See thou do it not. For I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship God.
And he saith unto me,
Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book. For the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Classified as fear-mongering by some people. Judgment Day isn't exactly a seeker-friendly subject. It's not something that will bring new members into the church by their thousands. That is why it is not preached often. Judgment Day
Video of the incident shows a man get out of a car with a long firearm, which he tucks into his pants. As he approaches the door to the store, gunshots strike the windows and he returns fire. Others get out of the car and one starts shooting in the same direction while a passenger runs away. Meanwhile, a customer exits the store and ducks for cover.